This is the Unlimited Life podcast with Zara Mahoon and Aaron McKenzie. Zara has been a teacher of Law of Attraction for over 10 years, and Aaron is an avid student. Zara has authored 12 books that are published around the world. She also coaches and mentors people online and across the globe. Together, Zara and Aaron will share ideas, questions, strategies, and methods on how to use Law of Attraction to improve every area of your life. From relationships to health to money and business, we will be covering it all. We want people to come away from this podcast feeling good. We want our listeners to leave with a feeling of hope and inspiration on all subjects. We want to give people simple and tangible strategies that they can use to allow their unlimited lives to unfold. Hey guys, welcome back to the Unlimited Life podcast. I'm your host, Aaron McKenzie, and I'm here with my friend Zara Mahoon. How's it going, Zara?
Fantastic.
Awesome. We're going to do we're going to answer another question that that is being asked online. And this question is from Kristen, and here it is. Kristen writes, I have a question. I was told today I'm hard to love. I don't know what this means, and I'm looking for some help so that I can further understand what's going on. Good one. I think I've been told that I've been hard to love before.
Yes. I think that happens to a lot of people. And what I want to say to Kristen is, if somebody feels that you are hard to love, then they are not in a place to love. They are not feeling love. And love is like any other emotion. You can be dependent on something outside of you to help you create that emotion, or you can have enough control to create the emotion at will. And the best way to live life, the most unconditional way to live life, is not to be dependent on any external factor in order to feel good or feel love. So, Kristen, this person who said these words to you, they are conditional thinkers and feelers, because what they are saying to you in effect is, I cannot control my ability to love. So would you please do things to please me so that I can start feeling the vibration of love again? And being a caring person, I'm sure that you can do that once, twice, a couple of times. But if you foster that kind of dependency on you, in the end, it's not going to work for you or the other person. You're going to be tired of doing things for them in order to make them happy, and they will never learn to stand on their own 2 feet. They will always be dependent on someone else to complete the picture for them. And that's not good for them. That's not helpful for them.
I mean, honestly, if somebody came up to me and said, Aaron, you're hard to love, I'd be like, yeah, right.
Exactly. And that really should be the response is, if you can't love me, that's your problem, not my problem. I'm just being who I truly am. And I just want to clarify more that when someone says you're not lovable, if at that moment you withdraw your love from them, meaning that you push back and change your vibration towards them, then it just keeps becoming a vicious cycle going round and round, where both people start blaming each other, and it becomes a blame game. And we've seen that happen in so many relationships. One person says, you're not lovable because you're not loving me. And then the other person says, yes, but what about you? I don't feel loved either. And it just keeps going round and round and round. So the thing to do in the situation where somebody comes to you and says, you're not lovable, is to love them even more.
Could the same thing be applied if anyone's saying anything to you, whether it's you're not lovable or you're annoying or you're bothering me, or is it all kind of the same?
It's actually the same thing, because if you're annoying or you're bothering me, all of it means act in a way that I can love you. And we don't have to do that. We don't have to act in a way that makes someone else comfortable, but we do it out of a place of love. And the trick is that you should do what you think feels good to you, not because someone else wants you to behave in a certain way.
Well,
And
I
as
mean,
long as, yeah,
I mean,
as
I
long
think
as you're being,
that's true freedom.
yes. And true freedom is really important in any relationship. If you believe that you're going to have to put a mask on and behave in a certain way because you want the other person to love you, then there is something intrinsically wrong in that relationship, because it should never be that. The other person should be able to love you exactly the way you are, and you should be able to love them exactly the way they are.
And someone that says something like that's probably just also, they're just having a bad day, right? Like, I mean, I know, because for me, there will be days where things happen and I feel great about it and nothing bothers me. But then there's some days that the same exact things can happen, and then all of a sudden I'm annoyed.
Yes,
But that's just reflecting what's going on with my thoughts and my vibe in that moment, in that day, right?
that's a very good point you're making, Aaron. That something might be going on that we, the observer, or Kristen in this example, who is at the receiving end, doesn't know what's going on. And so that's why we have to do soothing self talk so that we can keep ourselves in a place of loving the other person despite what's going on with them, by forgiving them, by saying things like, they must have had a bad day at work, something must have happened, and not make it about you. Don't internalize it and make someone else's behavior about you. Because if you make it about you, then you cannot love that person anymore. And so it ends up becoming a play act, in the sense that you're trying to put on a show, and so is the other person. And genuine feeling, genuine love has walked out the door long time ago.
Awesome. Okay, so back to the question. Let's do a quick summary. Again, the question was from Kristen. She said that today someone told her that she's hard to love, and she wants to know what to do.
And so, Kristen, what I'm going to say to you is, here is the stepwise strategy for you to follow. First of all, sit in a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. Close your eyes and breathe in. A couple of times, just breathe in so that you can center and ground yourself. The next thing you do is to tell yourself very clearly, whatever this person has said is not about me. It is about them and how they are feeling. And now you start your soothing self talk so that you can return back to a place of feeling love from a place of feeling hurt. Because just now you're hurt. And when you're hurting, you're not high on the emotional scale. So saying things like, they must be having a bad day. Some things happened that's triggered this behavior, and it's okay. I know one thing for a fact. I know that I am a beautiful, wonderful, lovable person. And if they can't see it in this moment, that's okay, because they must be low on the emotional scale. And that is the only reason why they cannot see clearly. And so I'm not going to take this seriously. I am going to keep my vibration of love steady for them so that I can beam love towards them and help them to come up the emotional scale and return to who they really are, which is a loving person. And so I am now going to think about the good times that we've had together. I am now going to look for things about this person that I appreciate. And then, Kristen, I would make a list of 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 things that have happened in the past that were loving, that were, you were both in a place of loving each other and caring for each other. And I would make a list of 4 or 5 or 6 things about this person that you really, really appreciate. And then I would close my eyes and breathe again. And I would just let it go. And I would say to the universe, universe, I leave it up to you. Whether we mend our fences or not, I know one thing for sure. They're saying this thing to me is not, I am not going to let it affect my life in a negative way. I am going to forgive them, and I am absolutely going to wipe this event off the blackboard of my mind as if it never happened, because I bless them and I let them go, and I want them to have a fabulous life. But even more than that, I want me to have a fabulous life. And it does not serve me to bring a memory like this with me into the future. And so with these words, it is done, it is gone, and I'm going to move on. And if they want to come back and express love, that's fine. And if they don't, I am going to return to the loving person that I am, that I want to be, and that I want everyone to see.
Thank you so much for joining us this week on the Unlimited Life podcast. Zara and I were happy to have you here. I will put in the show notes more resources for you to refer to. Also, we invite any questions you may have for us. You can go to unlimitedlifepodcast.com. There is a simple form on there for you to submit your questions to us, and we will answer those questions in one of our upcoming episodes. My personal greatest suggestion for all of you is to check out Zara's Unlimited 40-Day Law of Attraction Workbook on Amazon. This book has improved my life in more ways than I can describe. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you next week. The hosts and participants of the Unlimited Life podcast, collectively referred to as podcasters, do not dispense any form of medical or psychological advice or prescribe the use of any technique as a form of treatment for physical, emotional, or medical problems without the advice of a physician, either directly or indirectly. The intent of the podcasters is to offer information of a general nature to help you in your search for emotional and spiritual well-being. If you apply any of the techniques offered in the episodes offered as part of the podcast, the podcasters assume no responsibility for your actions and your results.